What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. The Pat Riley, Jimmy Butler saga continues with a new development, and that is that Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler reiterated to team president Pat Riley in a face-to-face meeting this past week that he wants to be traded, according to league sources. Butler told Riley that he will not sign a new deal in Miami and that he intends to use his $52 million player option for 2025-26 in the offseason only as a trade maneuver, according to sources. Butler's 7-game team-issued suspension from the Heat for what was termed detrimental conduct ends Thursday, at which point Miami will be faced with finding a path forward for Butler, with options including a return to the roster or a trade. Heat officials will meet later this week to discuss the best route for Butler, who requested a trade earlier this month. Heat coach Eric Spoelstra and players such as Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo have spoken in the past week about finding clarity and eliminating the distraction of Butler's circumstances during his absence. The Heat, who are now 20-18 and in 7th spot in the Eastern Conference, have gone 3-2 so far on their current 6-game road trip. They finished the trip Wednesday against the Lakers, then host the Denver Nuggets on Friday in Miami. So look, I was under the impression that they were going to trade. They were going to trade Jimmy Butler during this suspension, and I thought they were probably working feverishly on, whatever was the best scenario for the Miami Heat, and secondly, what was best for Jimmy Butler, but especially what was best for the Miami Heat. They were talking about Pat Riley, and here we are Tuesday, and he comes off his suspension Thursday, which will be right in time for the game on Friday. So, this might be, a real, very pivotal pivotal time period, I should say, right now. If I had to take a guess, I think that he's going to trade Jimmy Butler. But of course, so it had to be a situation where the deal makes sense for Miami, because this is just going to get this can get really ugly. You know what I'm saying? I just at this point I just can't see them not pulling the trigger, or at least attempting to pull the trigger on a trade, and just having him being a huge distraction for the organization. And we know how these players can get, man. We saw with James Harden the shenanigans that they'll pull to force a trade. And right now, Jimmy Butler has been a huge distraction. I saw this report that came out a couple of days ago. I didn't report on it because I looked at it as possibly a report put out there to just make Jimmy Butler look bad as far as in this whole scenario. The PR, I thought pretty much this information was leaked to make Jimmy look bad in the specter of public, in the specter of public opinion. There was a report out there that Jimmy Butler basically has been operating like a diva. When the team travels, he refuses to travel with the team. He wants to travel private. He doesn't really associate with his teammates. And on the court, when I say associate, I mean publicly, or socially, I guess I should say, socially. And also, according to reports, that Jimmy Butler's antics have even rubbed off on Kyle Lowry, who is his closest friend on the team. And that teammates are tired of Jimmy Butler's um, I guess his shenanigans and his shtick, as far as being too demonstrative on the court. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one thing to be a leader, but they make it seem like he's acting like a goddamn dictator out there on the court. And some of this got to do with the fact, and I know Ticket talks about this a lot. A lot of this got to do with the fact that, you know, they no longer have a guy like Udonis Haslam out there, who is an enforcer, mentor type guy to kind of keep equilibrium out there on the court as far as, relationships with the players. Um, but I know one thing, man. I think it's just over. Like Jimmy Butler's tenure with the team is over. It's over. I think it's to a point now where he doesn't care where he goes. I just think he just wants to get out of Miami. He wants out. And at this point, I think Pat Riley should acquiesce. Now, I want to say this because I noticed Jimmy Butler's getting demonized a lot more in this scenario than Pat Riley. Now, let's not forget some things here. Jimmy Butler took the Miami Heat to two NBA finals during the bubble and in 2023 against all odds, and especially the second time. He had a roster that, quite honestly, I don't even see how they made it to the finals when you look at it. It was Jimmy Butler and a bunch of role players, literally, except for Bam. Tyler Hero is okay, but he's no superstar, all-star player. Other than that, it was a bunch of role players, and he took that team to the NBA Finals, right? And during his years with the Miami Heat, can't really say Pat Riley done a lot to improve that roster. Now, you could also say some of the moves that people were pushing for Pat Riley to put out there or to pull would have backfired in hindsight. Dame, Bradley Beal, But still, at this point in time, I guess Jimmy Butler has tired of Pat Riley, tired of his teammates, tired of the scenery. Just tired. He wants to move on. And I'm pretty sure that Pat Riley is tired of Jimmy Butler at this point. But, another thing we got to say Pat Riley, and I said before in the video, I think last week, Pat Riley does have a history. Okay? Pat Riley does have a history of, and some people have said this about him, he uses a player for their God-given talents, and when there's signs of slippage, he will trade your ass. And, he's done that with multiple players. Multiple players. He did that with Dwayne Wade. He did that with Shaq. And like he about to do that with Jimmy Butler. He's done that with a lot of different guys. So I don't see this as who's the villain and who's the hero in this situation. I just think this is a situation where two strong personalities have clashed, because that's generally who Pat Riley clashes with. Strong personalities. Oh, LeBron James, another guy got put in that scenario. He clashes with strong personalities. And it's different when he was younger, talking Pat Riley with Magic and Kareem, because Pat really hadn't quite, he still was Pat Riley, but Pat hadn't quite, had enough achievements or accomplishments to warrant, I guess, having how I'm trying to put this. Like, it was a little bit different when he was with coach of the Lakers, because at that point in time, Pat Riley was still developing and trying to prove himself as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Magic and Kareem had already, especially Kareem, had already proven his greatness, already put his, his toll in, So Pat didn't really pull that with those guys as much. A little bit of that later on, though, but not early on. But Yeah, that's what I pretty much see it as, man. Two strong personalities that have clashed and are clashing, and that's just what happens. But if I had to take a guess, man, I think this will be Jimmy Butler's last week as a Miami Heat. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, tell what you guys think.